Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the weekly fundamental podcast. I'm Rasmi Koza from Kotak Securities. Last week, global markets remained weak and we saw marginal correction globally. In the US, the jobless claims fell to 5,47,000 last week, which is sharply down from the peak of 9 lakh seen in January. The unemployment rate in the US fell from 6.2% to 6%, which is well below the pandemic peak of nearly 15%. Last week, there were news of a new plan to nearly double the capital gains tax in the US to 39.6% for people earning more than US $1 million. The impact was visible in the US markets on Thursday, but again, markets bounced back on Friday in anticipation of strong earnings reports that is coming this week. Companies covering nearly 40% of S&P 500 market capitalization are expected to report their earnings this week. The details of the new tax on capital gains could also be released this week. Since the proposal will need to go through the Congress, it is not clear what will be the final outcome. Last week, the ECB kept its monetary policy unchanged and decided to continue its purchases at a significantly higher pace than during the first months of the year. The ECB indicated that economic activity may have contracted again in the first quarter of this year, but pointed to a resumption of growth in the second quarter, supported by the improvement in the rollout of the vaccination plans. Coming over to India, Indian markets succumbed to FPI selling last week on account of the sharp rise in COVID cases. The Nifty 50 corrected by 1.9% last week, while the mid and small caps fared better than the benchmark indices by falling lesser. Metal stocks and mid-cap pharma companies were the biggest gainers last week. Steel, aluminium, and copper prices are near or at decade high, which is leading to upside risk in earnings estimates of most metal stocks. In case of pharma, the rising cases of COVID has once again brought focus into them, and most of the mid-cap pharma stocks saw a price of anywhere between 12 to 35% last week. The fresh restrictions and partial lockdowns could impact the informal and SME segment more than the organized and formal segment in future. According to a survey conducted by Dun and Bradstreet, 82% of small businesses have experienced a negative impact during the pandemic year. The top three challenges earmarked by the surveyed companies include market access, improved overall productivity, and having access to more finance. On flows, as per Amphi data, open-ended equity mutual funds saw net inflows of Rs 9,115 crore in March 21 after witnessing outflows for nearly 8 consecutive months prior to that. The monthly SIP flows increased to Rs 9,182 crores in March, which is the highest ever monthly figure. As per Amphi figures, the SIP flows in FY21 total Rs 96,080 crores vis-a-vis 1,84 crores in FY20. The recent correction has helped flows come back into mutual funds. The DII flows into equity markets too have turned positive in March and April month to date. On the other hand, the FPIs continue to remain sellers last week also, taking the month to date selling figure to around Rs 7,600 crore. The sharp rise in number of COVID cases registered in India is a cause of concern for most foreign investors. The INR, after depreciating against the US, is consistently and sustaining at around 75 level, which is also a negative for FPI flows. The fear of rising cases has led to FPI selling in most of the emerging markets last week. As per a brokerage note, most of the European nations and US saw 4 to 12% impact on equity markets in the initial phase of the second wave. Most European nations saw peak within 2 months, whereas the US saw its peak in 3 months in terms of cases. All of them recovered sharply closer to their peaks and are near or at all-time highs as of last week. In India, the second wave started in mid or third quarter of March. Hence, hopefully we can expect our cases to peak out somewhere between end of May or early June. For India, the pace of vaccination will be the deciding factor as to how fast the economy recovers from the second wave. The global growth opportunity is expected to improve as pace of vaccination goes up in developed nations. As per a Financial Times article, consumers globally are sitting on nearly US dollar 5.4 trillion of savings, which could lead to higher spending as and when the businesses reopen. The excess savings is highest in North America, followed by Europe, as household incomes over there were protected by government stimulus. As India has become the epicenter of the virus resurgence, there is a fear of downgrades to FY22 estimates, which could lead to slight increase in valuations. The persistent rise in hard commodity prices is also a threat which could weigh on margins of many manufacturing companies in the near future. The threat of future earnings could impact markets in the very near future, as we see. Given the near term challenges and the negative sentiment, we can expect FPI flows to remain subdued in the near future. India could still be 30 to 45 days away from seeing the peak in COVID cases, which could keep markets under check. On the downside, Nifty has major supports at 13,600 and 13,000, which is likely to be the 200-day moving average in near future. Going by the last 4 months movement of developed nations, any near-term correction could provide an ideal entry to investors waiting on the fence. The minimal FPI outflows in April and the sharp resumption of flows into mutual funds suggest we are still in a structural bull phase. As and when the second wave subsides, India could also witness strong pent-up demand, leading to strong medium to long-term growth outlook. The formal economy could register higher growth than the overall economy, which is positive for listed stocks. Investors should grab any near-term correction in Indian equities to build their long-term portfolios. The sharper correction in mid and small caps could throw interesting opportunities in the broader market. In the near-term correction, the sectors that could see higher impact will also be the ones that could throw maximum opportunities of making money. One can look to accumulate stocks from banking, retail, capital goods, select consumer discretionary, oil and gas, life insurance, metals, and real estate. So that's it from my side for this week. Have a safe time and have a great week ahead. Thank you very much.